And somebody that really stood out to us last year as just a courageous person that was willing to go there and share with everyone listening some of the hardest moments of their family's life, and that is Deanna Planitz, and she is here with us today to talk about her son, Jordan.
Deanna, let's kind of walk back to the beginning of things, because I have to tell you, last year when we did the Radiothon, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house when you came on. We all remember when you spoke, and there's so many things you remember about that, but start from the beginning as to when you knew there was something going on with Jordan.
Shortly after Jordan was born, he was airlifted for open heart surgery. During that recovery time, he began to have seizures, so he was tested by way of an MRI. It showed that he was missing a portion of his brain, and the portion that was there was severely damaged. It took us a year. We had to go on to genetic counselors all the way in Seattle to find out the diagnosis, which is MPPH syndrome. There, as of today, are only 9 of these cases in the world. So there's not a lot of research being done. What is being done in Seattle by the founder of it himself. However, it's a grim prognosis. Basically, Jordan's brain will eventually outgrow the skull. It is causing seizures. I was shocked to find out that he's having more seizures than I even realized. They don't have to be big grand mal seizures. They can just be small seizures at night, what they call silent seizures. I was really surprised last week to get a CAT scan done and to find out that apparently these were going on and I didn't even realize it. So now you're even more on edge worrying about what is going to happen. Jordan went to Johns Hopkins Hospital, and we were told there that Jordan would probably only have about 3 more years to survive, and that's been a year ago.
Yeah.
So when you get that news, it's like a time clock that goes off, and it just clicks, and you can hear it ticking every day, waiting for those hours and those minutes, because there's never enough. I don't care if it is 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. When it's your child, it's never enough.
How does that change your day-to-day family life? Most people spend their days thinking about their children's future, and I'm sure you're no different than any other mother that way, but how has it changed your daily family life since receiving that diagnosis?
I think you become a different parent. You become literally obsessed with that child. I do have 2 other children, Joshua and Jeremy, that are twins. They just turned 7 years old. They get pushed back to the back of the line a lot. Jordan's medications come first. His doctors come first. Therapy comes first. We live in a small town in Waverly, so even though St. John's is close, technically it's still a 35-mile drive one way. So that adds up. When you have to call an ambulance, that time adds up. Your golden hour becomes more of an hour and a half by the time he actually gets here to where he can get the care that he needs. You constantly think about those things. I don't go to bed at night until I know my bag is packed. I live out of a suitcase because if that seizure starts and I have to call an ambulance, I don't have time to pack a bag.
Yeah.
So I live out of a suitcase. We don't make plans for the future to go to the zoo on the second week in July. Or, we don't do the things that we used to do because we never know where Jordan's going to be or where we're going to be. So it changes your life significantly, and it changes the family life significantly, especially Joshua and Jeremy, who are old enough to know what is going on and old enough to be terrified, but not really old enough to understand what is really happening.
You talked last year. I remember you had said that there were many nights that you would walk in there and just sort of memorize his face.
I do.
Yeah.
I rock him to sleep. Jordan and I are very close, and he even sleeps with me. I can't let him go for 5 minutes. It's just something that you're scared to death whenever you're not with him. You're wondering what is going on.
Yeah.
When I rock him to sleep, I stare into his face and I imprint every single line, feature, eyebrow, eyelash, everything on his face. It's like you're scanning it into your computer.
Yeah.
Because it might not be there in the morning.
What are some of the things that you guys do as a family to treasure your time together?
Well, we spend as much time as we can together, which is difficult. We treat every day as if it's your last. I'm never guaranteed when I put Jordan to bed at night that he's going to wake up in the morning. So every day is lived as if it's your last with him. We take what I call memory of the day. Every day has to have a memory, a special memory. Even if Jordan is in ICU here and not doing well, still, there has to be a good memory for that day that I can document, because every day there has to be something to hang on to. If you don't have hope, if there's not just a flicker of hope to go on, then you have nothing.
Deanna, you've really had some great care here, so I'm sure that you have some great things to say about the doctors, the nurses, the therapists, and all the people that have worked with Jordan.
Oh, yes. Excellent. We've had great, even the ambulance people are wonderful. The valet people, Kathy, she's your best valet. She is wonderful. She comes upstairs and sees Jordan every time he is here.
Yeah.
The nurses up there are great. Wonderful, wonderful ladies. Sometimes I'm up there by myself for days at a time, and I have no problem asking them for something to eat, something to drink. Can you please watch him while I take a shower?
Yeah.
They're probably relieved that I'm going to take a shower, so they're happy to watch him. His therapists are great. He gets physical therapy with Megan, and a speech therapy with Joan, and OT with Arena. And all three of them are wonderful. They've been on board from day one. Jordan knows them. He loves them. He can say their name now. And when he's upstairs in the hospital, they all come upstairs and see Jordan. Every one of them. That's remarkable.
Deanna, how do you stay so positive? How do you not, do you have days where you feel angry?
I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. I'm honored. I'm honored that when Jordan was in heaven and God was looking for a mommy, he picked me for some reason. I always felt like I was that special that he picked him to give to me. I know it's a short time. I feel like he's on loan from heaven and that God will take him back someday. And I know that will happen. Probably a seizure that will not stop. Last November, right after this radiothon, Jordan had a 37-minute seizure, and we almost lost him in the ambulance on the way here. And we were here in the hospital for quite a while. And during that time, I thought for sure that Jordan was not going to be with me anymore. And I know he's learned to do this thing now where he blows you a kiss and says, "See ya." He's learned how to put two words together and say, "See ya." And I've always envisioned that when the time comes and the angels pin his little wings on him and he flies away. Then he's going to get almost out of sight and he's going to turn around and look at me and he's going to blow me a kiss. He's going to say, "See ya."